And a very warm welcome to the dugout. It's really now, when you look at it, 4 games left before the final. Today is one such important game. If you have to look at the race to the finals, Pakistan versus Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka are coming off a loss to Bangladesh, and Pakistan are coming off a loss to India, which happened on 21st. But it is sticking with Pakistan. I mean, today, are they going to focus on the cricket, or are they going to focus on more off-field drama and antics which they have been doing? Because we've done several videos on the SAF Cup nonsense that Pakistan indulged in. One.
It's a good tribute to the Pakistan senior team because they did all the antics and still lost.
And the SAF under-17 team still lost. Despite those antics, it was 3-2, and I think they're not eliminated from the tournament, right?
No, that was just the first group game, so technically they're not out yet.
They're not out yet, yeah. Same like this particular team that is playing in the Asia Cup as well, because quite simply, even if Pakistan loses today, they still are mathematically in with a chance of a final. Because Sri Lanka will get to 2. We are assuming that India beats everybody. Okay, they will get to 6. Pakistan, if they lose today, and Bangladesh and Sri Lanka lose their games to India, then Pakistan, Bangladesh, depending upon the NRR, they will go through. That is how, in the year of firsts, could we see an India versus Pakistan final in Asia Cup? Because it's never ever happened. Either in the T20I or in the ODI format. So, Pakistan will be playing for the first time in Abu Dhabi. Sri Lanka have already played there. When they came to Dubai, they lost the game against Bangladesh. So, it all boils down to something very, very interesting in this game, which we'll come to later. But Pakistan's antics, I mean, look at it, ever since Sindoor, their teams have been given a clear-cut perspective. Mix your politics in every sport. They accused us of taking Pahalgam and Operation Sindoor, right? Look what your teams have been doing across the board. Look at the Davis Cup junior team. The one gesture by the Pakistan guy in the handshake bit. You thought handshake controversy was new in the Asia Cup. No, the Junior Davis Cup already had done it.
Correct.
You look at what happened not just on 14 but on 21st and the SAF Cup. And what Pakistani players are doing even in the women's team. Although in the women's team, yet again, I'll give a bit of headway in that, considering that it was Sidra Amin's 6th century. And there is one in which Sana Mir is like seen that this is going. Maybe she indicated that run rate
is that an old video though, Siddharth?
It looked like an old video to me.
That's the thing.
And also, I think it had nothing to do with the current situation. I think the issue was probably saying maybe the net run rate is dipping.
Intensity is dipping.
Could be anything. But as usual, people on this side of the spectrum have probably mentioned, oh, it's probably mocking the Indian team. But why do you need to get mocked? When you very well know that they are peddling fake news. You are getting agitated over peddling of fake news. I don't get that. So, we didn't get politics in the game first. India didn't get it. Pakistan did it first. And that is where I just hope that wisdom prevails, because we want to cover the cricket. Enough of all these off-field antics. It peaked on 21st. One hopes Sri Lanka does the Asia Cup and cricketing world a favor by ensuring Pakistan are one step closer to elimination.
Yeah, in other circumstances, we could have wished for rain, but I mean, this is the UAE we're talking about, so I doubt that's happening.
Yeah, there'll only be a desert storm, but I don't know when that'll happen. So,
Wait, we have a TV show?
Not today though, but see, you are going to see the India press conference take place at 7:30 p.m. So, it depends on who's going to come for it. Now you are going into India, Bangladesh and India, Sri Lanka. The anticipation might be low, but the intensity might be high. So, what is the other thing that is making news in the world of cricket?
Dickie Bird. Unfortunately, he's passed away at the age of 92. Obviously, there's so much we can talk about in terms of what he contributed to the game. He was such a likable fellow. Officiated very iconic games involving India and cricket World Cups as well. I think he officiated 3 cricket World Cup finals, including the one that India won in 83. Yep. Was interestingly there officiating his last match as an umpire marked the debut of a certain Saurav Ganguly and Rahul Dravid.
Yes.
So he was there at Lord's on both those iconic occasions for Indian cricket. But 92 years, he lived long enough to give us a lot of fond memories and his mannerisms. I remember there was this time he sat on top of the covers as well on the pitch when there was a bomb scare between I think there was a match between England and the Windies. I think at that
63,
time,
I think, if I'm not mistaken.
and the Windies supporters had also come to the center of the ground, right to the middle, where he sat there on the covers protecting the pitch, and he maintained his calm even when there was a bomb threat to that test match. It was day 3, I think, of that
it was
test
63
match.
Lords, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was Lords for sure. Lords for sure. But yeah, he unfortunately passed away peacefully at home.
Harold Dickey Bird, you will be remembered. And yeah, he and David Shepherd used to form a
loved
legendary... legendary. I think David Shepherd had that superstition, right?
Hop.
Nelson.
Hop, yeah, he'd hop every time any team was, on 111. In fact, there's a funny story about Shepherd. He was one of the umpires when India toured Pakistan for the first time, 2004. Not first time, but first time in years.
15 years,
yeah. So he was the umpire for that series, and I think for the when he entered the hotel, he was actually handed a key, and the room number was 111. That man handed it straight back. Like, nope.
Yep, indeed.
I'm not going there.
Yes, and the other cricketing news is India have pulled things back against Australia in Lucknow. But there's no Shreyas Iyer, by the way. But I think there won't be much of a debate on Shreyas Iyer's thing, because I think he might be picked for the West Indies tests that will start from October 2. So that squad might come tomorrow.
24th.
Yeah, India-Bangladesh Day. You will see India's squad for the 2-test series against West Indies starting on October 2.
Well, if they go ahead with tomorrow, and they go ahead also with the usual time when they put the teams out, that we very well could be doing the halfway stage of tomorrow's match with the analysis of the first innings and the team selection at the same time.
Correct.
No. I think it may happen before. I think looking at the timings.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, yeah. But yeah, Ashwin also is making news because he could be playing 2 leagues, ILT20 and BBL, which means his chances of SA20 are done. He can't play the SA20 because there will be a clash.
I'm surprised he didn't go for SA20, all things considered. Not just because of that, but I think, if you've been watching any of these leagues, ILT20 and BBL is still a decent league. ILT20, the quality is a little on the lower side. But SA20 is top notch. It's like, I dare say, up till now, I think the second best T20 franchise league on the circuit right now. Obviously, IPL is the standard bearer. I think SA20 is doing a very good job, and of course it helps that all 6 teams are pretty much IPL owned franchises, so they've applied a lot of that expertise already. I mean, it's very easy bringing in people who already have that expertise. I mean, a lot of these teams have 18 odd years of expertise in running these franchises, so for them it's basically just taking those principles and applying it slightly differently. And so I think that's what's also led to South Africa's resurgence really as a T20 force or a white ball force. You're seeing a lot of good young talent. Someone like a Brevis. Brevis was seen as, of course, we knew his reputation, but his career had faltered.
Yeah, Brevis, Stubbs.
Yes,
Stubbs.
Even the Stubbs.
Even Aquena is not going to be getting so much backing now and so much exposure.
Correct.
Yes.
So I do think, it's a good platform. I think if Ashwin would have played there, would have been worth watching. I think Dinesh Karthik had played for the Pal Royals.
Yes.
And, obviously, any Indian player of a high profile will bring a lot of attention by default. Now imagine Ashwin turning out for Joburg Super Kings.
Maybe
would have been something.
Next season, maybe 2027. Maybe we'll alternate. Maybe, this year I played the ILT20, now I'll play the SA20 then next year.
With ILT20 also, by the way, his base price is high.
120,000?
Yeah, he's the only player with a 6-figure base price. So that's a little surprising, but I do think, I understand it also. Get that money.
Yes, so that's the thing that's doing the rounds, but our focus is clearly on the Asia Cup, and as I said, only 4 more games left before the final. 23, 24, 25 and 26 are the games, and today is Pakistan Sri Lanka, but our focus will be on India versus Bangladesh. That's going to take place in Dubai.
I mean, let's be honest. Who before the start of the Super Fours would have thought that India versus Bangladesh could potentially be a game that decides the group toppers?
Well, no one thought.
No one thought it. Not even the most diehard of Bangladesh fans would have thought it. Yeah. Let's be very frank.
But as I said, any team with one win also can make it to the final.
Absolutely.
Depending upon the net run rate. That is what Bangladesh's victory against Sri Lanka achieved. It threw the whole Super 4 stage wide open. And that's why today's game, the topic that we are discussing is India's path to the final, it's assured, it is just all but sealed? Or are there certain issues that are creeping up with the Indian setup? Is it a frail middle order? Is it Bumrah's form? I can see these are the only two worries that I am looking at this point. Maybe the middle order is not that frail. Surya falls and in a high pressure chase or in a high pressure situation. And India, if you look at it, have won most of their games. I think 3 out of the 4 games, I think by chasing.
Yeah. I think the only game they defended.
Oman.
Yeah. And less said about that match, the better.
And that too in Abu Dhabi, not in Dubai. What will happen if they have to defend a total? That is one thing. Unless it's 220, 230, then I'm okay with it. But UAE doesn't produce those kind of wickets.
Well, I think the biggest worry, has been the lack of form of Bumrah. That's got to be the only worry, or the only major worry. Because it's so rare to see him not performing at his best. And then to see him being carted around for 45 runs in 4 overs without ending with a single wicket. Yikes. Yeah. That's not something you've seen from Bumrah since his early days. Like, I'm talking about his early IPL days, and I remember he burst onto the scene. Obviously that action was there. He was kind of gangly to look at. And most people were like, okay, what exactly is the specialty about this kid? Because he has a bad action. He's not very accurate. He was wayward. I remember in his earlier, seasons, he was like, when he hit the right lens, he was unplayable, but could be erratic. Now, though, this is Jasprit Bumrah. We're seeing the finished version of him. And we've not seen him have this kind of a drop-off for ages. I cannot remember. If you go over every year that he's been playing since maybe 2017, Bumrah has been your serial match winner and your serial go-to guy for breaking partnerships, for curbing the flow of runs. And it's just been so weird to watch him play like this.
The last time he didn't take a wicket in a T20I was USA, the New York game. India versus USA, he didn't take a wicket, but he had an economy rate of just over 6.
Exactly, but they weren't looking to attack him.
Yeah. Same, Sri Lanka and Lucknow in 2022, just an economy rate of over 6. But a double whammy, say, no wickets and 7 economy rate, 7 plus. This is, of course, the rarest of 11 plus economy rate. Pakistan, 2021, the 10 wicket loss in Dubai. That was the time he got hit for runs. 3 overs, none for 22.
And also it is worth remembering that at that point, I think he'd just come off an injury or something.
Yes. Although that was about a year back.
No. I think he was...
the stress fracture part 2. No, he just came after the WTC final.
Yes.
Then after that, he played.
Yes. That's what I remember. Because I remember 21, 22 and even for that matter 23 were not good years for Jasprit Bumrah because he spent a lot of time out injured. 22, remember, it was before the T20 World Cup. There was that bilateral series against Australia. He got injured. After that, he then didn't play until next year.
Yeah. You were supposed to have him for the South Africa series, remember, and then it got pushed to the Australia series, which also he could not complete, and then underwent a year full of rehab.
Yeah. By the way, if Jasprit Bumrah, when you look at it, first time in 5 years that this thing has happened. Because the last time, similar figures, 4 overs, none for 45. New Zealand, Mount Maunganui.
Poof.
There it was a Kane Williamson who took him to the cleaners at that stage. No, sorry, Hamilton. 4 overs, none for 45. New Zealand, Hamilton, Jan 2020. 4 overs, none for 45. Dubai, September 2025.
Correct.
So 5.5 years later, Bumrah is feeling mortal at this point. But yeah, India won that game. Both games India did win, but it was Williamson who kind of showed, yes, Bumrah can be mortal at that point. But New Zealand themselves did New Zealand things, choked at the very end. So in that way, and of course, 4 overs, none for 50. This remains his most expensive spell, Hyderabad. when I think it was Cameron Green who took him apart in that.
Yeah, I think that was the last match he played that year. I think I could be wrong.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
But that was the last match he played, and I remember I was right after that match only that I think Rohit had confirmed that he's felt something.
In
oh
his
dear
back,
God.
yeah.
See,
Did he ever?
He beat Aaron. He dismissed Aaron Finch, I think, with a Yorker in that Nagpur game. It was a rain shot in 8-over game. Then 4 overs, he bowled for 50. So 6 overs for 73 with 1 wicket. His exit from the T20 World Cup 2022 was confirmed.
Yeah, and then after that, I think he made his comeback in the Ireland series where he was the captain.
Yeah.
That was after nearly a year.
And I think he got a wicket first over.
Yeah, first over if memory serves me right. No.
There was also the series, I think.
Second T20. Eh? First one he didn't. His economy was excellent.
I think this was also the time you had Umran Malik play that series as well, if memory serves me right.
Umran was playing. I remember 23. That Ireland.
Wait, I think Umran played
22.
Yeah, this was 23. But they went twice.
Umran played in 22 when I think that time Hardik was the captain. Yeah. No, this T20I series was also noteworthy because I remember that was the T20I series where Rinku Singh made his India debut.
Yeah.
So that was also a time where you'd seen a lot of young players, getting a lot of opportunities because at this time we were still smack dab in the middle of the rebuild, as it were. Yes, see, that's right. It was the Island series, I remember. Yes. That is correct.
Yep.
That is correct.
So you look at it. That's why he didn't play much. He did play 1 game in Birmingham, and that's also. See, is this a current trend? Because look at it. From the series now, he's played 3 games. He's bowled a total of 11 overs, and he has taken 3 wickets for. Let me just do the calculation properly. 92 runs. 11 overs, 3 for 92 for Jasprit Bumrah.
That's distinctly un-Bumrah-like, let's be very frank.
Yeah. 8.3 economy rate for him. So, is that a worry? Or do you think it's just a one-off, he'll get back to form in the game against Bangladesh and Sri Lanka? 2 opponents where he's often had success.
I mean, you consider the fact that the last time he had figures this bad was in 22. And you realize that, he's actually been in fine fettle because we remember, we're only looking at his T20I numbers. We're not counting the fantastic form that he was in 2023 in the ODI World Cup and thereafter in whatever limited tests also that he played. He was rock solid throughout. And of course, Bumrah now is that player where even if you go through here, a lot of his matches are all major tournament matches. He very rarely plays bilaterals for certain formats, of course, dependent on the year. Yeah. Because see, in 24, the only T20Is he really played were pretty much the
T20 World Cup.
Yeah, that's it. That's all he played.
Yeah. And now he's only playing the Asia Cup. That's the thing. He's a multi-nation bowler in that sense.
Correct.
Multi-nation tournament bowler. ICC or AC, like Shami.
Thank God you mentioned tournament.
Yeah.
That would have meant something else.
Multi-nation tournament bowler, like how Shami was.
Yeah.
Shami also, ICC to ICC. That's it. I'll do that. I won't play bilaterals.
Oh, his was a different matter though. He would often be injured and then just get fit before the multinationals.
Do you think it's a sign of an injury? 11 overs, 3 for 92. Are the Indian team hiding something? Because we may come to know about in the PC at 7:30, but what do you think?
I think this is more a case of him struggling to come back into rhythm because you remember he played he missed the 5th test match, or is my memory?
Yeah, no, he didn't. Siddharth.
He missed.
He played the 4th. He didn't play the 5th.
Yeah.
Oval he was missing.
Yeah, and
2 tests.
Yeah, and Oval he was missing. I remember, and I think that time the news had come that he had picked up a minor knock. It came out, I don't know if it came before the test or it came after the test, but he had been carrying an injury thereafter. And I think obviously, the recovery time since and the fact that there was no match time really for him before the Asia Cup, I think that normally what would happen is you'd give him one bilateral to kind of shake the rust off. This time you're seeing him do it in the middle of a tournament. So I don't think that's helped matters. And I mean, look, the guy is mortal after all at the end of the day. The kind of purple patch he was on, the kind of consistency he had, you knew at some point he was bound to have a downturn in form. Thank your lucky stars it came in the Asia Cup, a tournament which is, sad to say, so lacking in competition that India can be actually, the kind of mistakes that we were making in some of these games. Do you think we'd have gotten away with the kind of sloppy catching that we were doing in the last match against Pakistan if we were up against South Africa or Australia? I don't think so. Not a chance.
Just to add to that, while it's odd what we're seeing with Bumrah right now, and we know with every top athlete, there's nobody who comes with the immunity against the law of averages unless your name is Mondo Duplantis. But Bumrah as well, at the moment, what we're seeing is just odd, and clearly he also falls in that category of mortals, and then in that category of top athletes who also get a leveler from time to time. So
I mean, this has already been a year of first. Who would have thought Neeraj would finish outside the top 2?
Finishing 8th.
8th.
But
first time in 2,500 plus days.
And to answer your question on injury, I don't think this is a case of injury at all. This is a case of him just taking a little bit longer to dust off the rust. Just looking, just not looking his own at the moment. Jasprit Bumrah, he's trying too hard at times, I feel, in terms of being extremely economical and extremely tight. And also, why I think there is merit in saying that is because I was looking at his speeds as well. He was cranking it up to 144, 145 in the previous match, and an injured player cannot be getting you to speeds of 144. In fact, we saw, what did we see in the series against England when he was ineffective, which was the second last test match of the series that we saw in Manchester, where he wasn't able to do much. If I recall it correctly, his speed did drop at that time, and we were all questioning if Jasprit Bumrah had been burnt out with all the excessive overs that he'd bowled in the first 2 matches that he'd played, and we were all questioning the captaincy of a young Shubman Gill when there was a Shardul in the ranks, where there were other bowlers that he could have turned to, but Bumrah had already bowled about those 90 odd overs in quick time. So we've seen his speed drop when Bumrah has been pushed to the limit, but at the moment I don't think 11 overs, as you said, Siddharth, of the 12 that he possibly could have bowled in the 3 matches that he's played. But the fact that the speed is still there, I think this is not a case of him suffering with an eagle at all.
Then I think probably it is the inconsistency in the lengths. I think he was either too short. I think that's why he got hit for 6s. I mean, the first 3 6s that India conceded in the Asia Cup were all of Bumrah, incidentally. So I think it's the question of length. And see, he bowled a total of 119 overs in the 3 tests against England. So I think 2 matches that he was rested. Incidentally, the 2 matches that India rested him in, India won those games. Edgbaston and Oval. The games he played in, 2 were losses, 1 was a draw. So that is where I think, see, India might have to address a slight concern in Bumrah's consistency of length. Because if they get beaten black and blue in the death overs and if he's off colour, then India can be hurt on that day. Because again, what happens if you have to defend a total? When you defend a total, you need peak Bumrah. You won 3 games and you won that 1 game minus a Bumrah, but that was also too close for comfort. Let me tell you, India might have been dominating the game, but I'm sorry, it was very close to comfort for us, 21 runs against Oman. If that catch was not taken, I'm pretty much sure you would have been.
Yeah, but let's be honest with that, India were in experimental mode that day, both with the bat and with the ball. You had 8 bowlers. 8 bowlers.
There was a captain at number 11.
And a captain at number 11 decided. So clearly you would assume that India would have gotten some more runs than they eventually did. 1. 2, they wouldn't have lead as many runs as they ended up leaving because there was Abhishek Sharma bowling. There was Tilak bowled 1 over, and all 4 overs I think of Shivam Dube were also used. So you had
only 3 overs, I think.
4 he bowled against Pakistan.
Yeah. So 3 over there. 1 we saw from Abhishek, 1 we saw from Tilak as well. So there was a 5 overs that we saw which could have been bowled and spread across evenly amongst the regular bowlers. So clearly India were looking at more answers. You were in experimental mode that day, but those experiments are done away with, and there is no time to do any more experiments. This is about making use of whatever learnings that you have from your practice sessions and such experiments done on the field, and you've just got to be clinical now. India will hope to be clinical on 3 more days in this Asia Cup that hopefully they will be participating in. We're sure of 2 more days, but every sign pointing at the fact that they will be playing on this Sunday as well.
Yeah, I mean, see, simple. If you win the game against Bangladesh, 90% you're all but secured in the final, because I don't think any other team, suppose if Sri Lanka lose today, then there is no chance that they'll be in the final.
See, what happens after today's match is that and this is the key, because if whichever team loses today will have lost 2, right? Then that means they're all but out. And once India win, then there'll only be 2 other teams aside from India who can get to 2 wins.
And that will be either Pakistan or Bangladesh or Sri Lanka or Bangladesh.
4 points.
So 2 wins.
Yeah.
So, and then what happens is that India's net run rate is very, very superior. So a win tomorrow after what happens in today's result means they're all but through. Because even if it comes down to net run rate, let's assume, they still have a far superior net run rate. So I don't think it'll be much of a concern to them in terms of, it's a case of when you are making the final. Look, we know they're playing. There's no two ways about it.
I think I can say that if India win tomorrow, irrespective of what happens in the others, I think a queue is attached. Final.
No, it won't be attached entirely, because mathematically, as I said, two teams will still be able to get to 4 points. Okay, so and then net run rate, they can still mathematically improve. I'm not.
See, if India win tomorrow, okay, they have beaten whom? Bangladesh.
Correct.
Okay, if Pakistan beats Sri Lanka too, then only one of Pakistan or Bangladesh can go through with 4.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what
that's exactly. I think if you win tomorrow, I think it's queue.
Oh yeah. Then you're right. Actually, yeah, because then the other 2 will not be able to.
Only one. Yes, of
only
Pakistan,
one team.
If Pakistan,
because
yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, then India are qualified.
Then India are qualified, because see, Pakistan, if they win, Sri Lanka can't get to 4, irrespective of what they do against India. They can't get to 4. Okay. India have beaten Bangladesh, so they'll remain on 2, and 2 games have been played, so that's 4.
And then Bangladesh will have to take on
Pakistan. Only one of them will get
in that case, Sri Lanka can get to a maximum of 2 points.
Only 2 points. Yeah. So that is the thing. So one of them can only get to 4. So if India win tomorrow, the final is theirs, 128.
Win and you're in.
Yeah. So that is the situation. Any other concern? We have highlighted the Bumrah bit. I mean, I think Bumrah, is only struggling for rhythm.
Yeah, I think the other concern, as our producer Shivam is rightfully pointing off screen, has been Hardik's bowling. Because the thing is, see, normally, if you were playing with the regular combination of old, Hardik was probably your 3rd or 4th pacer in some occasions. Right now, though, he's your 2nd pacer. And with Bumrah off the boil a little bit in terms of form, there's been more of a focus on him. And sad to say, in the death, he has been found wanting. I don't entirely blame him. He's not a death bowler. Never has been. He's at best someone you'd use maybe in the new overs, with the new ball, or in the middle overs. Death overs, I don't remember him.
In the IPL of 2024, his economy rate in the death was 20.
I mean, the last time I remember him bowling well in the death was probably India versus Bangladesh 2016 World Cup. That was the only time I remember him bowling well in the death.
Although,
or exactly, as Hardik Pandya fans would like to remind you, the World Cup final.
Yeah, that was also a good one, agreed. But otherwise, he's more miss than hit when it comes to the death.
Although it is very harsh, I would say. Although I would say it is a bit of a harsh comment, because if you look at Hardik's and any pacers form, which pacer has impressed apart from Nuwan Tushara?
In the tournament?
In the tournament, which other pacer?
He's been the standout bowler, standout fast bowler. You loved every bit of what he's done so far. Correct. The swing, the shape that he's getting on the ball, the areas that he's bowling. A couple of those deliveries that he bowled to Afghanistan batters, I remember in the group stage match that they had. Spot on the ball, pitching just between middle and off, shaping away, then takes the off stump. Just so pleasing on the eye, and under lights that guy has really looked menacing. I'd be very interested to see how is it that India play against Sri Lanka, although we need to wait a few days for that contest. But swinging ball, under lights, ring of fire will make for an interesting battle.
Because see, Hardik had one good performance and it came against Oman. But even in the game against Pakistan, I thought he was okay. Every other pacer got hit for runs.
Agreed, but see, there was Shaheen that he conceded all those runs to right towards the end.
But Shaheen gave it back in kind with those runs that he leaked of his own bowling. No?
But Siddharth, if you have to put all of that aside and talk genuinely about how is it he bowled at the death, especially to Shaheen, who's looked no mug with the bat, but let's face it, this is not how Shaheen is going to be always or has been always. And you expect Hardik Pandya, who has been given this tough responsibility of bowling at the death to be getting it right against somebody like a Shaheen. There can be on a given day much tougher batters that he will have to bowl the 20th over to, and the stakes will be higher as well. But you need to get it right in these matches too. I remember a couple of those times he was bowling too full. In fact, there were a few full tosses. I remember one of which was dispatched by Shaheen, the other earlier in the match by another Pakistan batter. So you just need him to be a little more consistent, and I expect him to be outwitting somebody like a Shaheen. Again, no disrespect to him, he's really surprised us all with his hitting ability, especially with the long handle that he's used in this tournament. But you expect Hardik Pandya to be outwitting him.
And look at the kind of if you go by Hardik's even recent form in T20Is with the ball, you'll notice a lot of extremes. He's either going to be very expensive and not get you enough wickets, or he's going to be extremely economical and be among the wickets.
See, he has 13 wickets in 17 T20s ever since his Bridgetown heroics.
By the way, quick trivia, he's closing in now on 100 T20 wickets, yes. T20I wickets, and that'll make him only the second
after Arshdeep.
After Arshdeep, who's now stranded on 100 wickets for a while now.
Obviously.
Although he needs 3 more wickets to get to 100. But looking at the way how it is the last time he took 3 wickets in a match, trivia question, Barbados.
Final.
He took 3 wickets there. And yes, he could do well against...
2 wickets we can all name. Tell us the third one.
I mean, long ago, it was Rabada, Kagiso Rabada.
Yeah, that's right. 2 wickets we all know.
Yeah.
Third one is the question.
Rabada.
Okay.
Kagiso Rabada. I think so. See, when Surya took that catch at long off, that was his second. I think Rabada tried hoisting him to mid-wicket, I think.
Oh no, or was he the last wicket, last ball?
I think so.
Yeah.
It
was a catch, I think.
Second last ball.
Yeah, penultimate ball.
Second last
ball, I think.
So, see, that's the thing with him. And as I said, he'll either oscillate towards very expensive, because, see, look at that list. Look at some of the economies. 10.6, 11.75, 14, 10.25, 11.5, 12.5, 11, 11.5, 10, 11.33. But some of them are extreme. Some are like 3.
Yeah.
See, let's face it. Also,
he's bowled only his full quota only 4 times in the last 2 years.
Could you give me his career?
Which I expect.
Could you give me his career economy? T20s, I think it's close to 9, if I'm not wrong.
It is. 88.23. But the last couple of years, his economy rate has been 8.9. That is the problem with Hardik Pandya. His bowling, and plus he's not gotten many chances to bat. What do you do? The Indian team has been so dominant with the bat that he's not gotten chances. But in the match that he got a chance, where there was kind of an artificial pressure being created, first ball, cool as a cucumber, flick to deep mid-wicket. So the coolness quotient is still there with Hardik Pandya. I think Gambhir understands that this is his role. He has to put in the thankless job of bowling in the power play and in the death. Hardik says yes. So I see that as less of a concern, considering that this is a trajectory that has been there in bowling in T20Is. The other concern that I have is probably, what is the team wanting to do with AXAR Patel? Because I know he got injured in the game against Oman, but then even in the game against Pakistan, he bowled only 1 over. And he's not gotten a chance to bat. And when he got a chance to bat, he scored 26 of 13. He was not needed in the game against Pakistan. But 1 over from AXAR, what are they thinking?
No, I think, 1 over in the game against, who was the Oman game?
I think that was injury. But
that was injury. But the game prior to that made a little less sense.
So, is it a confidence thing? Because you're doing the same thing like what you did with him in the test matches. When there are not very helpful conditions, you give him less bowling and then he drifts away from the side automatically. Is this a way how you're going to treat a clutch player like AXAR, who was one of the key factors in helping you win in Barbados?
No,
he was.
He was not. AXAR was one of the reasons you almost lost.
No, but with the bat.
I'm talking about the ball, you almost lost.
Kuldeep and AXAR got taken to the cleaners.
Yeah.
Carlson.
Yeah, so Klaasen and Miller, if you look at mostly Klaasen, he targeted Kuldeep and
AXAR in particular. I know that 1 over, I think he got.
24.
That over, I thought it was done and dusted.
The ball that hit the roof. And scared us all.
Even Miller also took him to task, I suppose. But then see, 1 over from AXAR Patel in 2 games on the trot, especially the game on day before yesterday, made very little sense to me. I don't know what they're not batting him in a position, except for Oman, where he batted higher. But other games you're batting him at 8.
Yeah, and which is fair. I mean, see, needs must for the team, if need be, that you have batting till 8. And I could think of worse batters than Akshar Patel. And he's a great batter now, like a much improved batter. Exactly. So it's nice, it speaks levels to the kind of depth you have that he can be batting at number 8. But yeah, I think they need to use his bowling a little bit more. Unless it was some sort of an injury precaution thing, in which case I'd say why play him at all?
Exactly.
You didn't need to.
But, okay, if not for Akshar Patel, who are the other backup options that you've got?
You don't. That's the thing.
That's the problem.
Then if you need a backup, as I pointed out that day, then you'd have to bring in what's his name, Rinku Singh, to bat, and then you'll need to lean on Abhishek for a couple of overs. Yes. That's your solution.
I think with Akshar, Siddharth, to answer your question, I don't think this is a case of him not being good enough to bowl or anything like that. I think the team has a lot of confidence in his ability, which is why I'll take you to the first match that India played against Pakistan. You had him bowl the third over when Bumrah and Hardik didn't make the best of starts in that first match.
UAE, right?
No, for the first Pakistan match I'm talking
September
about. 14th. The third over was bowled by Akshar Patel. So that's the kind of confidence that you have in him, that you can have him bowl in the middle overs, that is for certain, but you can also have him bowl in the power play. That's the kind of confidence this team has in him.
Yeah, so maybe, but I don't know what are they utilizing him in this way. That baffles me entirely. Why?
Yes, he's right. Washington and Rihanna
are standby. They're hardly like for like in that sense, except for Sundar, but Sundar's a off spinner and a left-handed.
Yeah, and with Rihanna, I think what limits him a little bit is that he's more of a top order batter.
Correct.
So actually, Sundar in that sense is the closest like for like, although he's an off spinner. But of course, he's a rare breed kind of off spinner in the sense that he can also give you an over in the power play, a role Akshar has played in the past. Yep. So he's probably the closest.
The last concern before we take some questions. Bhau's form, Surya.
I'm not really concerned.
In the way how he's getting out, plus that one knock of 47. Agreed. But his lean patch is continuing.
For India.
Yeah. For India, his lean patch is continued. I mean, look at it. Apart from 47, even in the game against Pakistan, when wickets fell, he was the other wicket who fell in a cluster. It can hurt you on any other day. And the sameness of the way how he got out.
No, but in the first match, he did enough. He and Tilak, it was, right? Who came off the pitch and scored the winning runs.
How can you forget?
Exactly. So
that is why. Barring that first game.
So yeah, and I like what he said that day. That I know that the situation demanded you to consolidate, and I'm happy that I was there to score the winning runs as well. So that gives him a lot of satisfaction in being able to close games out for the Indian team. I'm honestly not worried with the range of shots that he's got. Yes, if you were to zoom out of this competition, look at what he's done in this year in the Indian jersey. The numbers will tell you a story that paint an image of him that makes him look like a player who's short of runs, etc., short of form. But at the moment, I think the team's doing well. He did enough that day to get India over the line. I'm not too worried about him.
Because I think, I might be mistaken, I'll have to check Surya Kumar Yadav's statistics. I think that 47 was his highest in 2025, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was, for one simple reason, because he didn't have a good series against England.
Yeah.
He struggled there. He may have had a 50. I just want to cross-check his 2025 record in that sense.
You could be right, Siddharth.
Because his average
I think 30 odd was his highest in that England series.
Yeah, so that's why.
Yeah.
Not bowling. Okay. Yeah, you can go there. Batting career summary. I just want to.
Second one, Shivam. Second one.
Batting. Yeah, because then go down the year I will then come to know. Then go down. Year, Yes, 47 was his highest. Look at it, 13.6 with a strike rate of 124.
That's actually the worst year he's had in quite some time, because look at it, prior to that, his strike rate didn't go below the 150 mark, which is phenomenal consistency.
I mean, look at it, 155, 187, 155,
So we've got numbers from 2021 when he made his debut, 155, 187, 156, 152 if you round it off. And now 124.
That is why. I think Bumrah, the two Mumbai Indians guys, Bumrah and Surya, they are my major concerns. Surya in particular, see, it is getting swept under the carpet. Yeah, I know that Surya also sweeps. I know, very good sweeper. But because India are winning, his form is getting swept under the carpet. But on one particular day, if your captain doesn't contribute to the bat, it will impact his thinking and leadership as well. A captain can't be under a prolonged slump and ensure that the team doesn't contribute. Somewhere down the line, you'll face better opposition in Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, maybe in England to a certain extent. What if he doesn't do well in those games?
I mean, he did struggle in the England series, you'd remember.
Exactly. So that's... Dube is a positive. I mean, that
with the ball.
With the ball also.
Again, we haven't seen him much with the bat.
He's barely batted.
Yeah. Although he did do well in that game against... UAE, he struggled against Oman. And I think even in the game against Pakistan, that cameo...
He barely had to do much. Exactly.
Balls. Yeah.
Well, I don't mind. Dube has been a big revelation with the ball. He's no concern. I think these are the major concerns. Let's see now if our family members, let's say, echo us, or let's say, agree, disagree, what it is they stand.
Yeah. Ashish Dhar is saying Indian football, he's talking about Indian football, was at its peak in 1956 when they finished 4th in Melbourne Olympics. Also won gold at the 62 Asian Games. Reason for dramatic slide?
I mean, there's so many reasons. Yeah. For one, you could never seriously consolidate and build a proper national league. I mean, if someone could, there are books which talk to you.
That's still an issue of the last 2 decades.
Yes, that is. It's been an issue of more than the last 2 decades. Even
although you have a legacy tournament in the Durand Cup.
Yeah, but Durand Cup is considered like a pre-season tournament. It never has been a league. I'm talking about a league that goes on for 7-8 months. You struggled. I mean, the first time you properly launched on was the National Football League or the NFL.
Santosh Trophy was never.
Santosh Trophy is again a different format because that sees states. So it's not
legacy
clubs.
Tournament, agreed.
Yeah, but it's a different format and nowadays sadly not taken as seriously. Yeah. So if you're looking at leagues, the first time you properly tried a consolidated league was the National League. That almost got extinct. You had to rebrand as the I-League. It was good for a few years, and then after that also required was put on life support. You launched the ISL, and now the ISL itself, you don't know what the
and the way how you have disrespected the I-League this time around with your court of arbitration, back and forths.
Yeah, by the way, main reason why the I-League schedule hasn't been announced, it's because the teams that got relegated have basically put in appeals. So what that means is that you don't even know if they'll get relegated or not. So the new season thing hasn't been announced. It's a shambles. So there's a lot of reasons for that dramatic slide, Ashish. Lots of reasons.
I mean, imagine one player's availability has come into question because your portal could not be updated because of poor internet. That whether he had a third red card or what was it, your portal didn't update it.
It was the 5th yellow card was this thing.
Yeah.
Imagine that is the level that we have gone to. Your simple internet connection and officials don't come on Sunday to work and update it. Wow.
Amazing.
Danush is saying Sky's 7 T20 innings was a spark. 111 runs, 18 average, 118 straight. Spoke on press conference as if he won matches versus Pakistan. Truth is getting carried by team. That is what I'm saying. He can get away with all these kind of things because the team is doing well and because it's the Asia Cup where you said the competition isn't all that great.
What competition?
Exactly. But in a World Cup, there is no hiding.
Yeah.
That is the thing. That's why Surya needs to come back to form in the 5 matches against Australia and the 5 matches against South Africa. Because those will be your preparation and the 5 games that he'll play against New Zealand prior to the
I agree with you. Yes, we've already seen the England series and we're yet to see this tournament conclude. So let's firstly, come back on Surya and have our verdicts when we've seen the end of this series. But if it prolongs to anything beyond this and we see, let's say at the halfway stage of the Australia series happens before the South Africa series. So halfway stage Australia series, if we see this form continue, then I'd say yes, there's cause for worry because you don't have a lot of games then left in the build up to the T20 World Cup of next year.
Okay, so for example, what will you take? Surya in form but the team is losing, or the team is winning but Surya is not doing well. It's a kind of a reverse psychology.
I'll take the team doing well with Sky doing well. Thanks very much.
But that option doesn't exist.
Of course it exists.
It can exist.
It's currently not existing.
Currently non-existent, but it's possible.
Also, Siddharth, if I'm saying going forward for the next couple of months, team doing well, Surya isn't doing well, you still go in with him as the captain.
Of course.
There is no changing that. You hope that he finds his form in the World Cup then. But if the team's winning and the team's playing the way that it does, what Surya can do on his day, again, you'll have to then apply the same logic as you did with the Virat Kohli. Can you afford to have an informed Virat Kohli not play the World Cup or not play a big tournament or not be in your test side just because he had a couple of bad series? No. You know the upside of having, as Ricky Ponting had once said, the upside of having a Virat Kohli is far greater than the downside of him being on the bench. The one day he clicks, he'll win you the match.
See, Surya will be there until March 2026 in the Indian cricket team as the captain. After that, maybe you might want to look at something. And there was one from Karthik.
There was one more. Why switch?
Karthik K was like saying, Sanju at 3, Sky at 4, as Tilak's doing well down the order.
Won't happen. You have to remember our coach loves left, right. So that's the main determinant of this batting lineup.
Correct. So that is why... Sarat Chandra is like saying, hi panelists, literally wasted my whole night sleep to watch one of the worst award show ever. Even Filmfare doesn't go down this bad. They kept Olise at 30, Pedri 11th, Rafinha 5th. PR awards are worse.
Yeah, I was surprised Rafinha was 5th. I expected him to feature in the top 3. Perhaps or second. Third. Who was the other competition? Lamine. Rafinha outshone Lamine.
Perhaps just Lamine, because again he had good success in his national team. That's why I was looking at him being second, but had to be top 3 Rafinha. No doubt about that.
Had to be. So I was very surprised. Yeah, Pedri 11th. Sarath is also a Barca fan, so I don't think he'd be happy with the fact that Pedri was 11th and Cole Palmer was 8th. Yeah. Olise at 30 was a big surprise because Olise was probably one of the more informed wingers in Europe last year. He was a key reason why Bayern did as well as they did domestically. That was a surprise. You have to remember it's not PR and everything. Let's not go down the route of mudslinging. You have to remember these awards are voted for by journalists and captains. So the vibe changes a lot.
And I was telling you that yesterday only on the show that there have been far too contentious awards that have happened in the past. I'm not saying this is still the most contentious. Yes, the rankings are debatable,
but that's
always the case. And honestly, I think you've seen bigger howlers happen at the balance.
And honestly, who cares about who finished 30, 11, 10, 8, 7, 6? I don't care that Cole Palmer finished 8th. I would care if he won the thing, or if he finished in the top 3. That's still something notable. Beyond that, and at least this year, I will say they gave it to the right person.
Yeah, there's no doubt about
Thankfully.
That. There's no doubt about that at all.
I think Lamine did better than Usman.
No. Lamine did well.
Treble.
Yes, that's the treble.
And look at his contribution in PSG getting there.
Phenomenal.
Sensational.
Yeah, like Shane has done the video
he finally got to the height and the level that you expected him to get to a few years back.
Yeah, when he was at Barca, ironically, people expected him.
All of this looks belated if you ask me.
Yeah, so Shane's done a video from how Ousmane Dembele from injury, now he's become a Ballon d'Or winner.
From injury meme to Ballon d'Or winner. What a nice rebound.
First Parisian French guy to win it after a very long time.
French people have won it. Zidane has won it.
Of course, yeah. After a very long time. Platini would have won it.
I think Zidane was probably the last. Henry never won a Ballon d'Or to my memory.
Wow, that is huge. Thierry Henry for all
Henry never won it. Yeah,
never won it. Because I'll tell you why. Because he happened to play for a side that never does well in European competitions. Correct. Sorry, none of your golden Premier Leagues will master that.
Yep. Yes.
That's true.
Yeah, I think 2004 again was that golden time for Arsenal as well. And I think it was Cannavaro who won it that year.
No, Cannavaro was 2005 if my memory serves me, right? Or 6, the year after they won the World Cup. 2005 it was Ronaldinho.
5 was Ronaldinho.
Yeah, I remember that because Frank Lampard was in second place that year. So that was also a big thing for Chelsea fans.
Yeah, Sachin Kashyap. Surya has been coming back from injury. 2 matches he will get better. Sure, I hope he gets better. But then that is why the Oman game needed to be important for him. He shouldn't have disrespected his batting and his batting position. That is what I think.
Freaking Awesome says Sri Lanka have lost 3 T20Is in Abu Dhabi and all their 3 losses came against Pakistan. And SL batted first in all those games. So that's interesting. Going by the stats, then Sri Lanka need to basically chase.
But Abu Dhabi is a defending venue. It's not a chasing venue as such.
True.
That is the problem. So that is why, see, it's a catch-22 here. It's a real catch-22 if you have to get it. Because what is going to happen if Dubai is a chasing venue. Abu Dhabi is a defending venue at this point.
Exactly. Wait. I saw some things still to this thing. Wait. Dex says that he'd like to see a Sena Cup. Well, that would be interesting.
Well,
it's a good idea.
By the way,
it's a good idea.
Sri Lanka are batting first again because Pakistan have opted to bowl.
Oh dear God.
But Dex, if you look at it in the 90s, there was an Australasia Cup in Sharjah that used to be held. I mean, India and some of the teams, Asian teams would be there. There would be Australia and New Zealand playing. England wouldn't play that much, so that's why. Ashish, the Arshad Water ruins Juventus.
Or Newcastle.
Yeah.
Or Jailer.
Or a what do you call
Jail.
it? Yeah. Dex, I did take your question. Anshu Mishra says the Ballon d'Or award also has a lot of PR like the Filmfare Awards. Border, Greatest Movie, Emotions, but can't get an award in 97. Filmfare 92, Kumar Sanu got for Sergeant songs, but Sameer missed in lyrics. I mean, you're talking about egregious. If you're talking Filmfare calls, and I don't really follow it much now. I think for me, one of the worst ones I remember was the year Hrithik got it for Koi Mil Gaya. I did not understand that one because I thought it was dead cert that Shah Rukh would get it that year. I was like, really, Koi Mil Gaya is your best movie? Like, no disrespect, it's a great movie.
What a day to be talking film awards.
And what exactly, considering Shah Rukh just got a national award. Thank God I can talk about him here. Oh, what am I supposed to?
Where are you disallowed talking about Shah Rukh Khan?
I'm not disallowed, but at home, I unfortunately, my mother's a diehard Shah Rukh fan, my wife is a diehard Shah Rukh fan, so it's bad that I get tired talking about him. I disbar myself. I'm self-barred.
Self-barred.
No censorship on you, huh?
No censorship.
Sure about that,
yeah, I'm 100% sure. 100% sure. Okay. But yeah, I do agree, Anju. Even Ballon d'Or has a lot of PR. I'll give you an example. Last year, people. Real Madrid, by the way, even this year boycotted the ceremony. Last year they boycotted because they got to know that Vinny would not be winning it. My point was, you were offended about Vinicius Jr. not winning it. I was more offended at the fact that they didn't back Jude Bellingham. Yeah. Bellingham had a far better season. I'm sorry, Mother Dustas. He had a far better season. If you look at it overall, Vinny had a few good performances here or there, but I didn't get the Ballon d'Or hype. I'm sorry, I didn't. I would have gone with Bellingham. Probably would have had a better shout. But then it's like, okay, yeah, you went with that, and then this year you're just playing boycott, like those fans online.
It's the year of boycott, I'm honestly telling you, yeah.
Last year was the year of boycott, and this year
is extremely unhappy. Barcelona fans.
It is very ironic. Barcelona fans and Real Madrid fans cry the most online for two teams who are favored the most in Spain, and Barca fans will be like, referees favor Real, authorities favor Real. Real Madrid fans will be like, they favor Barca.
Wait, Harshit, didn't we focus that on one, I think before the El Clasico or some other match, there was this thing running on one particular referee that he's the most biased referee that...
Yeah, Real Madrid have the propaganda which they put on their own YouTube channels. Correct. It's sad. It's really sad. A club of that magnitude...
Whenever this referee has refereed in this game...
let's be honest, both teams, both Barcelona, Real Madrid have had enough times where the referees...
2008 Champions League
that cannot be forgotten. The semi-final, right, that one?
Disgrace.
Yeah, that was a disgraceful match.
Disgrace.
That was a disgraceful match.
Ballack. Yep.
Yeah, Michael Ballack chasing the referee.
That match is so bad that more neutral Barca fans will look at it and even be like, yeah, hi.
That was just blatant.
Way too many
penalties denied.
Yeah.
Freaking awesome saying. Sid sir, you may remember Bumrah's comeback after first injury. He didn't pick a single wicket in 3-match ODIs in New Zealand. Yes, he struggled to regain his form around that time. Agreed. So before we do, is there going to be any changes that you think for the India-Bangladesh game? We're going to play the same team.
Who? In India? I don't think they're changing combinations unless they see something on the pitch which forces them to go for another pacer. That's the extent of it. Beyond that, you're not making any sort of changes.
Exactly. I don't think so. Same. I think it'll be the same team for the next 2 matches. I'll put my neck out and say it's the first. And Harshad, you want to take Priyanshu School? Where? Where from on earth? Did you get it from Tihar? Did you get it from anywhere else? Where? Please, we want to know. ये कपड़ा कहाँ से लाते हो?
I'll tell you about it.
Sure, he'll message you, he'll DM you. Yeah, so that is the way we look at it.
And now we can actually switch our focus. Don't forget the match is about to start. The virtual knockout. Remember?
Oh, Canada say you about it, right? Oh, yeah, it's technically not a knockout, but
it's a virtual knockout.
Yeah, because see, if Sri Lanka lose, which looks now more likely because This is
Win toss, win match.
yeah, it's kind
Yes, sir. 2009, not 2008. Yeah.
of that year which you want to whitewash. So yep, thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this update, and enjoy your.
Kiran Khatri has a comment for you, Siddharth. He says, Siddharth, has anyone told you that you're pure entertainment? Right? He says, entertainment.
Well, thank you, Kiran. I hope I can live, but we all are entertainers at this point in time. Yeah.
Are we?
Yeah, you are. Shane has his own way. You have your own way. So he means for all three of us. Entertainment. So that's the way. Varun, we have done a separate video on Shreyas Iyer. I think it is not any kind of issues. I think he's just taken a break because he wants to be in contention for the West Indies tests. So do check that video out. Do check out Shane's video on Usman and Dembele. Harshit's also done on Dicky Bird. And also one more video you're doing on...
That's out, the ugly antiques Pakistan.
Ugly, yeah. Nothing new in that.
Nothing new there. Anyway.
Yeah. And I've got a special video coming up on chess boxing. You don't want to miss that one. So, yeah, from me, Shane and Harshit, we will be taking the India PC also pretty soon from all of us here.
Yeah, so stay tuned. Lots more still coming on Sports Today. We'll also break down the
match result.
Yes.
Well, unless there is, of course, something that happens during the course of the match that needs immediate attention.
Yeah. We'll be there with that
so that you know if, when we come live during the course of the game. Otherwise, right towards the end, sometime around 11:30, that's my guess, we will be joining you, all three of us here from the Sports Today studio, and we'll dissect this match for you. Also bringing you the scenarios as well as to what it means in terms of qualification for the final.
Of course.
Absolutely. Lots of reports from Dubai as well. What is it? Are things getting dewy over there? Temperature, has it improved or not? Everything you'll be getting. You know, our man Nikhil is there on the ground. For now, we'll take your leave, but we'll catch you soon in a few hours. Bye-bye. Take a look at the other videos that we've already done for you.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.